Hi there. Welcome to Red Moon Diaries, your home for spine-chilling tales. Turn the lights off and let's dive into the spooky action. This is what happened to my girlfriend and I last summer, and I'm still trying to process it. Maybe someone here can make sense of what we experienced. We were driving back from a music festival in Nevada, taking the scenic route through some back roads because Emma loves desert landscapes. Around 11 p.m., we saw someone waving frantically on the side of the highway, a middle-aged man in jeans and a button-down shirt, standing next to a broken-down sedan. Emma's a compassionate type, insisted we stop. He could die out here, she said. The nearest town was 40 miles away. The man seemed relieved when we pulled over. Thank God, he said, jogging to our window. I'm Robert. My car overheated, and my phone's dead. Could you possibly give me a ride to the next town? He seemed normal enough. Polite, well-spoken, grateful. We told him to hop in the back seat. He gave us an address. 1247 Sunset Ridge Road, if you know where that is. I'll navigate, Emma offered, pulling up her GPS. But when she entered the address, her phone couldn't find it. Maybe I heard wrong, she asked Robert. No, that's right, he insisted. 1247 Sunset Ridge. It's my sister's place. She's expecting me. We drove for 20 minutes while Robert made small talk. Normal stuff, the weather, the festival, how kind we were to help. But something was bothering me. In the rear-view mirror, I kept noticing his hands. His fingernails were pristine, almost manicured, but there were dark stains under them that looked like dried blood. When I mentioned this to Emma later, she said she'd noticed something else. Robert never blinked. Not once during the entire conversation. We reached the town around midnight. Main Street was completely deserted, streetlights casting long shadows between closed storefronts. Where exactly is Sunset Ridge Road? I asked, stopping at the only intersection. Oh, just up ahead, Robert said. Past the church, then left at the cemetery. The cemetery. That word made my stomach drop, but I followed his directions. We drove past a small white church, then turned left at a wrought iron gate marked Peaceful Rest Cemetery. This is perfect, Robert said as we entered the cemetery grounds. Just drop me off right here. Emma and I exchanged glances. Here, I asked, at the cemetery? Yes, this is exactly where I need to be. Robert's voice had changed. Flatter, more mechanical. 1247 Sunset Ridge Road. That's when Emma gasped. She was holding her phone, and her GPS finally showed our location. We were parked directly in front of plot number 1247 on Sunset Ridge Road, the cemetery's main path. The headstone read, Robert Mitchell, 1962 to 2019, beloved brother. When we turned around, the back seat was empty. No sign that anyone had ever been there. The doors were still locked from the inside. We drove home in complete silence. Neither of us slept that night. But here's the part that still gives me nightmares. 3 days later, Emma got a friend request on Facebook from Robert Mitchell. His profile showed no activity after July 2019, the month he died. But his last post, updated just 3 days ago, was a photo of our car parked in that cemetery with a caption, "Thank you for the ride home. Hope to see you again soon." The photo was taken from inside our car, from the back seat, while we were sitting in the front. Emma deleted her Facebook account the next day. We both changed our phone numbers since then. But sometimes, late at night, we still get calls from unknown numbers. When we answer, all we hear is a man's voice saying, "It's Robert. I think I need another ride." I'm a construction worker in California, and what we found last month is keeping me awake at night. My supervisor says I'll lose my job if I talk to the media, but I need to tell someone. Lake Meridian used to be beautiful. 200 acres of clear water, surrounded by hiking trails and camping sites. But 3 years of severe drought changed everything. By June, it was basically a muddy crater, with a tiny pond in the center. The county hired our crew to assess the old boat launch area for reconstruction once the rains return. Routine job or so. We thought. Tommy spotted it first. "Hey, there's something metallic out there," he called, pointing toward the dried lakebed about 200 yards from the old shoreline. What we found was a 1987 Honda Civic, sitting upright like someone had just parked it underwater. The license plate was still readable, California, for BMK 739. But here's what made my blood run cold. The car was in perfect condition. No rust, no algae, like it had been underwater for maybe weeks, not decades. The doors were unlocked. Inside, we found a purse in the passenger seat containing a driver's license for Jennifer Walsh, age 23, issued in 1987. Her photo showed a young woman with blonde hair and bright eyes. In the back seat were children's toys and a car seat. But the trunk, that's where everything went wrong. 3 bodies, perfectly preserved in the cold lake water. A young woman matching Jennifer's license photo, and 2 small children, maybe 5 and 7 years old. They looked like they were sleeping. No signs of trauma, no obvious cause of death. We called the sheriff immediately. Deputy Morrison arrived within an hour, took one look at the scene, and got very quiet. "I need to make some calls," he said, and walked away from us to use his radio. When he came back, his face was pale. "The Walsh family was reported missing in August 1987, he told us. Jennifer Walsh and her 2 kids, Michael and Sarah, disappeared after a custody hearing. The ex-husband claimed she'd kidnapped the children and fled the state. But here's where it gets weird. The missing person report was filed by Jennifer's ex-husband, David Walsh. And David Walsh has been the mayor of our town for the past 15 years. Deputy Morrison made us sign non-disclosure agreements before we left the scene. Ongoing investigation, he said. Can't compromise the case. The next day, the area was cordoned off with yellow tape. By the end of the week, the entire lakebed was declared a hazardous environmental cleanup site and closed to the public. No media coverage, no newspaper stories, nothing. I did some research on my own. Jennifer Walsh had indeed filed for divorce in 1987, citing domestic violence. Court records show she requested a restraining order against David Walsh just 2 weeks before she disappeared. The divorce proceedings mentioned David's volatile temper and threats against the family. David Walsh has been mayor for 15 years. He's up for re-election next month. His campaign signs are all over town. Walsh for mayor, a family man you can trust. Yesterday, I drove past Lake Meridian. The whole area is now fenced off with "No trespassing" signs. But I could see fresh concrete where the car was found. They'd poured a concrete slab over the entire area. This morning, I found an envelope slipped under my front door. No postmark, no return address. Inside was a newspaper clipping from 1987 showing Jennifer Walsh and her children at a community picnic. Someone had circled David Walsh in the background. He was standing behind a tree, watching them. On the back of the clipping, someone had written in red ink, "Some secrets should stay buried." I'm posting this from a library computer. I don't know who to trust in this town anymore. If something happens to me, at least someone will know the truth about what the drought revealed. Mayor Walsh's re-election rally is tomorrow night. He's giving a speech about protecting our community's families. I wonder if anyone will ask him about the family at the bottom of Lake Meridian. I need to get this out before I lose my nerve. My hiking group still won't talk about what happened last month. We planned this 3-day backpacking trip for weeks. The Cascade Trail was supposed to be moderate difficulty, well marked, perfect for our skill level. 5 of us, me, Sarah, Mike, David, and Jessica. Everything started normal. Day 1 went smoothly until around mile marker 8. That's where we found the first shoe. It was a hiking boot, fairly new, sitting right in the middle of the trail. Someone probably just lost it. Sarah said, but something fell off. The laces were tied perfectly, like someone had carefully placed it there. Mile 9. A torn piece of flannel shirt hanging from a branch at eye level. The fabric was sun-bleached, but not old. Maybe weeks, not months. Mile 10. A water bottle, still half full, sitting upright on a fallen log. The cap was on tight. Who leaves a water bottle like that? We should have turned back. Mile 11 brought a hiking pack. Content scattered in a perfect circle around it. Energy bars, first aid kit, phone charger, all arranged with deliberate precision. But here's what made my skin crawl. The phone charger was for the same model phone I carry. Same brand, same color. David found the journal at mile 12. Leather-bound, pages warped from moisture, but still readable. The entries started normal, weather observations, trail conditions, excitement about the hike. But as David read aloud, the handwriting became increasingly erratic. Day 2, someone's following us. Found our campsite disturbed this morning. Day 3, lost the trail. Compass spinning. Sarah says she hears voices at night. Day 4, David won't wake up. Something's wrong with his eyes. Day 5, I'm alone now. They took the others during the night. I can hear them calling my name, but it's not their voices anymore. The final entry was just one line, written in what looked like dry blood. Don't trust the trail markers. That's when we realized we'd been following markers that didn't match our map. Bright orange reflective tape tied to trees, leading us deeper into unmarked territory. Our GPS showed we were 15 miles off the designated trail. We tried to backtrack, but every path looked the same. The orange markers seemed to multiply, appearing on trees we swore were unmarked minutes before. As darkness fell, we made camp in a small clearing. Jessica was on first watch when she started screaming. "The journal!" she gasped, pointing at our campfire. "Look at the names." I grabbed the journal and read the first entry again. The names of the hikers weren't strangers. They were us. Sarah, Mike, David, Jessica. Even the handwriting looked familiar now, like my own writing, but wrong somehow. That was 3 weeks ago. We were found by park rangers the next morning, all of us unconscious in that clearing. They said we'd been missing for 6 days, not 2. They never found any orange trail markers. But here's why I'm writing this. I found something in my backpack when I got home. A journal I've never seen before, leather-bound, with fresh entries in my handwriting. The first page just says, Day 1. 5 of us started the hike today. The Cascade Trail should be perfect for our skill level. I never wrote those words, but that's definitely my handwriting. And yesterday, I bought new hiking boots. Same brand, same size as the one we found on the trail. I don't remember buying them, but the receipt is in my wallet, dated 3 days ago. I think I'm supposed to go back to the trail. I can feel it calling me. The orange markers are starting to appear in my dreams. If anyone finds this post and I stop responding, don't look for me on the Cascade Trail. Don't follow the orange markers. And whatever you do, don't trust the trail. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on the video.